What is up, everyone? Chris from Pickdawgz.com here with the Wraparound. We're going to be breaking down the NHL action for you going down on Saturday, January 6th, 2024. Just a reminder, though, if you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button if you like this content and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Appreciate all the love and support. This Wraparound would not be where it is, and this Pick Dawgz channel as a whole would not be where it is without your guys' love and support. So thank you so much for that. We just passed 100 million views on our channel not that long ago. So definitely keep on. We're pushing for 150 million now, and we're going to bring you along for the ride with lots of free pick winners on the way. But if you're looking for my best bets on the board, the games I love the most, and I have a lot of them on Saturday, make sure you head to pickdawgz.com. Click that premium picks tab at the top of the page. Got something for everybody. Got some NHL, NBA, NFL, college hoops. You name it, it's there for you. So make sure that you head on over to Pick Dawgz, check it out. And, whether it's just with me or someone else as part of the 2-for-1 capper promotion or the multi-capper promotion, can't go wrong. You got tons of great cappers on the website, and we're all out there to make you some money with this loaded weekend of action. But that's on the board on Saturday. We still got to focus on the NHL here. And the reason we have to focus is because we got a big card, 12 games. But, I love this stuff. You know the drill. You ready? I'm ready. Let's get into it. Our first game on Saturday takes us to the Wells Fargo Center, where the Philadelphia Flyers take on the Calgary Flames. And, the Philadelphia Flyers, last year, it was the St. Louis Blues that were extremely streaky. They would win 3, lose 3, win 2. They never had to win 1, lose 1, whatever. Now, this year, I think it's the Philadelphia Flyers. They had a 3-game win streak near the middle to end of December. Lost 2 straight, then won 1 against the Canucks, and since then have lost 4 straight. They've been outscored 14 to. Sorry, I'm trying to do some quick math. 14-8 in those 4 games. 3 of those games have been 1-goal games, but still losses nonetheless. The Calgary Flames, they've been playing the better hockey. They've won 6 of their last 8 games. Head-to-head, the Calgary Flames have won 7 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams. And even when Philadelphia was playing well and giving us a bunch of profit back, they're still 8-9 at home this season, 8-7-2. Still barely above 500 for how well they've played in a lot of spots. So give me the Calgary Flames on the money line in this one. Next, we head to the Ball Arena for a matchup between the Colorado Avalanche and the Florida Panthers, a heavyweight matchup. And, I won't lie to you, this is probably a game that I'm not going to be rushing to the window to bet, just because both these teams are playing so well right now that I really think you're splitting hairs when you try to pick a side in this game. The total is a wash. But that being said, I'm going to lean towards the Florida Panthers here, mainly because we're getting some nice plus money with them, anywhere between plus 115 and plus 125. But also, the road team won both meetings last year, and while both of these teams are playing well, with Colorado winning 4 straight, 6 of 7 and 7 of 9, and Florida winning 6 straight coming into this one, it's been the Florida Panthers that have a 1.60 goals against average in their last 5 games, all 5 obviously wins. And for Colorado, a 3.0 goals against average, 4-0-1 record in their last 5. Alex Georgiev, if it does prove to be Georgiev that gets the start here, has been very shaky. He's given up 4 or more goals in 3 of his last 5 starts, while Florida has allowed 1 goal in 3 straight outings. And I got to take a shot here with the Panthers at plus 125, or plus money in general. Now we head to the SAP Center, where the San Jose Sharks take on the Toronto Maple Leafs. And as a Leafs fan, I'm terrified of this matchup because this is a game the Leafs should win fairly easily. But the Leafs are also 10-26 on the puck line this season. So, again, take this with a grain of salt. But I am still sticking with the Toronto Maple Leafs here. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Dennis Hildebrand, the rookie, make his start here. Also could see Martin Jones making the start against his former team. But whoever gets the start here, whether it's Hildebrand or whether it's Martin Jones, I think the Leafs have a clear upper hand on the San Jose Sharks, who clearly just find different, new, and creative ways to lose hockey games during this double-digit losing streak. They're on another double-digit losing streak. I think this is the second one of the season for the Sharks. They've scored 1 goal, or excuse me, I should say 2 goals or less in 8 of their 10 games during this losing streak. 1 goal or less in 6 of the 10. And even when they play good defense, the offense continues to let this team down. So, against a team like Toronto that's capable of popping 4 or 5 goals a night, I'm not going against that here. I'm taking the Toronto Maple Leafs on the puck line in this one. Now we head to the TD Garden in what's been a bit of a heavyweight rivalry in recent years between the Boston Bruins and the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I went back and forth on this game, trying to sort of find an edge and maybe trying to find a way to make some extra money out of this thing. Maybe try to go hunting for some plus money. Um, but I think the best way to honestly go about this game, and if it's within your wheelhouse or if it's something you want to play, by all means, is to take the Lightning plus 1.5. Now, this may be a parlay piece for some because right now it's sitting around minus 160, minus 165. But my reasoning behind it is, the Boston Bruins have played a lot of, I don't want to say lower scoring, but they played tighter games all throughout the year that maybe it shouldn't have been as tight. And the Tampa Bay Lightning still have a losing record on the road. So you would think that maybe Boston comes in, beats them up at home where they are 11-3-3. But again, keep in mind, this is the Tampa Bay Lightning that still has a tough lineup with the likes of Kucherov, Stamkos, and whatever that has an offense that can keep themselves in games. Head-to-head between these two teams, 5 of the last 7 meetings and 7 of the last 10 meetings have been one-goal games, with 4 of them needing overtime. I think we could have an overtime game here. I think this game's going to be fairly tight. So I'd take the Lightning here plus the 1.5. If you don't like that, I wouldn't go much further into it. This is going to be a fun game to watch, but yeah, not a ton of betting value here in my opinion. Next, we head to the Nationwide Arena where the Columbus Blue Jackets take on the Minnesota Wild, and this is a bit of a tricky game. I went back and forth on this one as well, and I was kind of trying to find the edge here, but again, this line just looks really funky with the Minnesota Wild only laying $1.34 on the road here. Columbus has played their better hockey at home, and Minnesota still has a 6-10-2 record on the road this season. But again, I'm not finding a whole lot that I really like in this game. Now, that being said, the Minnesota Wild have lost 4 in a row, and they've scored 2 goals or less in each of those 4 games. Columbus, 3 goals or less in each of their last 3, and in 6 of their last 7. So I can see a low-scoring battle here, but I'm also going to look at, aside from looking at the under 6.5 here, I'm going to look at this game to go to overtime at plus 370. For the Columbus Blue Jackets, 4 of their last 5 and 5 of their last 7 games have needed extra time. And while the Minnesota Wild haven't been in that boat as of late, 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams, including the first meeting this year in Minnesota, was a 5-4 overtime win for the Blue Jackets, needed extra time. So I'm going to take the under 6.5. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on the game to go to overtime with a 60-minute tie at plus 370. Now we head to the Bell Center where the Montreal Canadiens take on the New York Rangers. And, the Montreal Canadiens been a solid team to back on the puck line for a fair bit of the season. They are 10-9 at home on the puck line, but still having a hard time getting behind Montreal considering they've lost 4 of 5, and a lot of those have come in convincing fashion. 3 of the 4 losses coming on the puck line, including a 6-1 loss at home to the Buffalo Sabres in their last matchup. New York, they haven't been as consistent as they were earlier on. They have alternated wins and losses in each of their last 5 games, but their last 3 wins and 4 of their last 5 wins overall have come by 2 or more goals. And that includes a 5-1 win in their last road game at Tampa Bay. So I think that the New York Rangers are just a team in the better spot right now, 13-5-1 on the road this season. I'm going to take the Rangers on the puck line in this one. Now we head to the Prudential Center where the New Jersey Devils take on the Vancouver Canucks. And, I saw this line and I'm like, you know what? Maybe take a shot on the Vancouver Canucks. Get us some value here. The New Jersey Devils still a sub 500 team at home. However, the New Jersey Devils have won 5 of their last 6 games, while the Canucks, inconsistent. They've alternated wins and losses in each of their last 6. But the New Jersey Devils against the Vancouver Canucks are 15-1 in the last 16 meetings between these two teams. 8-0 in the last 8 meetings in New Jersey. A lot of those came when Vancouver was not as good as they are now. They had a few down years last couple of years, but you got to remember, these teams also only play twice a year. So this ownage from New Jersey has gone back well before. We're going back to the Sedin twins and how good Vancouver was year after year and perennially making the playoffs. So I'm going to take the New Jersey Devils here. I'm going to take them at minus 118. Said, don't love fading the Vancouver Canucks. They've been one of the better teams in the NHL, but sometimes you just can't ignore the head-to-head numbers. So give me the New Jersey Devils in this one on the money line. Next, we head to the PPG Paints Arena for the Pittsburgh Penguins versus Buffalo Sabres matchup. And I like the Penguins at home and what they've been putting together. Do I love the price with minus 170? Not so much, but I'm willing to make the exception here and take them on the money line. I'm also going to look at the over here, mainly because you look at what Pittsburgh's done as of late. Sure, they've been stringing some wins together, but three of their last 5 games, actually 4 of their last 6, have all seen at least 7 goals scored. The Buffalo Sabres, still not a team I'm really looking to go and trust. They did score 6 goals against the Montreal Canadiens. They do have a 3.0 goals against average in their last in their last 5 games. But in reality, I don't trust Devin Levy or Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen in goal for Buffalo. And Pittsburgh, while they do have solid goaltending, last time out for Alex Nedeljkovic was proof that the Penguins can even have an off goaltending night as well, depending on depending on the night. They can be on their toes, they can stand on their head, or they can give up 4 or 5 goals. So I'm gonna go with the over 6.5 here, as well as a lean towards the Penguins at -170. Maybe use it as a parlay piece. Now we head to the American Airlines Center where the Dallas Stars take on the Nashville Predators in a Central Division matchup. And, the Nashville Predators, if you've been following the wraparound, you kind of know what the story is for the Nashville Predators. You, for the most part, back them at home and fade them on the road. And now, well, it's kind of, you can't even know if you can trust them even at home. I mean, now they've lost 4 of their last 6 games and 5 of their last 8. And coming off a 6-3 loss at home to the Calgary Flames in their last matchup. Dallas, well, they've had moments themselves. They've dropped back-to-back home games against Colorado and Montreal. But I still think that Dallas, is the play here. They've owned the Nashville Predators in recent meetings, winning 5 straight head-to-head against Nashville, including a 3-2 win in Nashville earlier this season. And the Dallas Stars 12-6-2 at home compared to 9-7-1 for the Preds on the road. So give me the Dallas Stars here, maybe another parlay piece, -164 and on the money line this one. Next, we head to the PNC Arena where the Carolina Hurricanes play host to the St. Louis Blues. And, the Carolina Hurricanes, I was critical of this team, rightfully so, in the middle of December. This team was really struggling. But since then, basically since the Christmas break, this has been a completely different team. They've won 5 straight games. They've scored 5 or more goals in 4 of those 5 games. They've also given up 3 or less in all 5. So, the Carolina Hurricanes, just like I said, playing some solid hockey right now on both ends of the ice. But the big difference has been the goaltending. The goaltending has been, it was shaky early on, but now Peter Kochetkov has assumed the starting role in Carolina. He's given up 2 goals or less in each of his last 4 starts. While St. Louis, the thing about St. Louis is they've split their last 4 games, but they've also they've also scored 2 goals or less in each of those 4 games. So sometimes the defense is doing its job, but the problem for me is that the defense can't hold your hand the entire way. You got to be able to find some goals here and there, and I just don't think the St. Louis Blues are going to do it, at least in this game. And they've got a tough road trip coming up as well, with games against, a tough homestand with games against Florida, New York, and the Bruins coming up. I don't think it's going to get any easier here as they, head back home after this one, but I think they head back with a loss. I'm going to take the Carolina Hurricanes to win this one regulation. Get that -188 price down to something more manageable around -120. Next, we head to the T-Mobile Arena where the Vegas Golden Knights take on the New York Islanders. And, the Vegas Golden Knights are just in a funk right now. I think that's just the best way to put it. 3-7 in their last 10 games. They've lost back-to-back games, 6 of 7 and 7 of 9. And the goal scoring has dried up for the most part as well. They've scored 2 goals or less in each of their last 4 losses. And they've taken some questionable losses as well. It seems like, Seattle, they got shut out. They lost 5-2 against Anaheim on the road. They're back at home now where they do play their better hockey, but again, I don't know how eager I am to lay this kind of juice with the Golden Knights in their current form. The New York Islanders, they've been inconsistent as well. They're 4-6 in their last 10 games, but they've been able to pick up a couple of road wins here and there in some tough environments like Arizona and Carolina, and against some decent competition as well. They've got a home win against Edmonton as well back in the late part of December. And head-to-head, New York's actually won back-to-back meetings, and they've won each of their last 2 trips into Vegas. I just think there's a shot here with some value to take the Islanders here at +128 until the Golden Knights show me that they're back on track, and they're not seeing any of my money. Give me New York in this one. Our final game on Saturday's card takes us to Rogers Place, where the Edmonton Oilers take on the Ottawa Senators. And the Ottawa Senators, another team that, you kind of know the story on this season. They played decent at home. and they have for the last couple of years. They're 10-10 at home this season, but just 4-10 on the road this year. They've been getting crushed in the first couple games of this West Coast road trip. Lost 6-3 against Vancouver, 4-1 to Seattle. I don't see it getting any better here against an Edmonton team that's won 6 games in a row. 4 of those have come by 2 or more goals. And they're taking care of business, and now they're going back home where they play their better hockey. They just beat up on the Philadelphia Flyers, and I think they beat up on the Ottawa Senators here as well. I'm going to take the Edmonton Oilers to win this one on the puck line. You can take them in regulation. Payout isn't as great, but yeah, I'm going to take the Oilers on the puck line in this one to round things out. That's it. That's all the NHL action for Saturday, January 6, 2024. But just a reminder, if you haven't already, smash that like button if you like this content. Subscribe to our channel, and make sure that you hit that notification bell in the description of this video below to get notified when all the newest and freshest content drops here at Pick Dawgz. If you're looking for my best bets, again, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. And make sure to let me know your NHL picks in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.